What up, Wheatfield? What it do? Welcome back to the Wheatfield, y'all. Welcome to you. Welcome. Welcome. If you're new, welcome to you too. Hey, welcome. Come on in to the Wheatfield. Welcome, guys. Today, it's a good day to have a good day. Hopefully you having a good day. It's been a pretty heavy morning. I slept really hard. I'm up and at it. Well, not really. We still in our jammies. But we have, got freshened and made some coffee. We'll see how the day gonna go from there. We taking it one step at a step, one step at a time right now. Thank you to the Alpha and Omega for being here, the infinite intelligence, the breath of life for being here, for animating us, for pulling us into the ether like the breath is within and it breathes, the word is living. Yes, thank you to that. It is a good day. You have the opportunity to call your life again, Ashe. Give up yesterday and step into today. Give up yesterday and step into the now. I'm like, wait a minute, why we couldn't get out? No, we didn't want to say that. That's not what Spirit says. Spirit say the now. Yes, thank you. Alpha, would you like a sip? Thank you. Omega, no. Omega don't want us to drink coffee so much, no. But we are very grateful for having it. Thank you. That's them first two sips. That was good, y'all. It was good. Y'all, I was up late last night talking to one of my beloveds. And I did something that we haven't done in a long time. Is argue the word. Argue the word. I had come away from that. Thank you, Alpha. The intelligence, the breath of life. Because see, the word shows itself approved. There's no need for us to argue it. And then we start getting into concepts that just cannot be, we're not going to know until it's a part of the mysteries of life. I'll put it that way, in short. It's a part of the mysteries of life which people can only speculate. And one person's speculation is no greater than another person's speculation because everything is given on to us and we have to interpret, right? And people will say, well, the word is not man's interpretation, but how could it not be? Even if the words speak or the Most High speaks to me, how it speaks to me and I receive that could be very different from how it speaks to you and you receive that. So each one does require interpretation. I couple that with there is multiple ways of reading a word, not just in text, right? Because text can be manipulated. The words in text can be manipulated. Again, it's up to man's interpretation and then the motivation and intentions behind that man. And we know them not. We just don't. We talk about, since they've been putting down written word and how many times have a specific theology or has been rewritten, translated. And then does it match up with all the other theologies across the globe? Because it's not just one theology. It's many theologies. And who's to say that one theology is over the other? None. It's all based on how the Most High has spoken to that group of people, right? But some laws are just universal. And you can see universal law in nature. We can see the law change in nature. It's nuanceical. For instance, the trees, pine needle trees or pine trees don't necessarily react the same way as deciduous or coniferous trees, right? Take it for how that works. I might have had that a little bit mixed up. Whether deciduous trees don't act the same way as coniferous trees. Do they all have seasons and essential same functions like they grow roots. They sprout from seed. They grow root deep down into the earth, and then they, you know, pull up resources from the earth using the rain, the sun, and all that to blossom each in their own kind. So they go through the same mechanisms. You can see the word be consistent, but you can also see the word be nuanceical according to that specific entity, that specific thing. We can see the same thing with flowers and grass, right? Bushes, anything that flowers, right? You can see the fact that it's rooted, it has roots, it comes from seed, it has roots, it grows down, establish the root system, get nourishment up from the soil, receiving the rain and the sun, it grows, it flowers, right? But the type of flower, when it flowers, how it, all of that can be different. So the rule that governs that entity is going to be slightly different. It's going to be nuanceical. It's going to be different. It's like flexible, you know. It's not just rigid, set in stone like that. And I oftentimes take offense when we argue for and against the same principle. It's like, on the one hand, we can accept that we don't know all of the knowledge, because how could we possibly ever know everything that there is to know? And then at the same time say that this thing is the only thing that there is to know, like it's whole and it's complete and there's nothing missing. Well, that's oxymoronic. The two don't necessarily play in the same sandbox. They're not, you know. Because if a wise man knows that they don't know anything, like the more you learn there is to know, there's always more, then to take a position that this is only it, in my opinion, is foolish. It is. And we know that the principle is that we shall not argue against the word. We shall not. Because then you can't understand, you've lost the ability to effectively communicate with each other, and it does more damage, which we can always repair, because we both always show respect and concede, but and understand. Because have you ever been in a, yeah, I'm looking at this, it's a card in front of it, one, but they was separated where, this is hanging down and this is what I see. Like working in arguments, right? It's almost like, how can I surrender even more in this moment? That's awesome. Look at that sitting right there. How can I surrender? Of course, by just choosing to let anybody, of course, I can't change what anybody think, period. That's just not on to me. The only person whose thoughts I am in control of are my own. And my emotions, and my thoughts are not the same. And my thoughts and my words are not the same. So for me to speak out and speak and think from an emotional standpoint is against what I know to be the correct thing to do. So what should I do? Surrender. But have you ever argued about surrendering? How many people have been in an argument about surrendering? I understand that that is your viewpoint. I don't necessarily feel the same, but I understand that that's how you believe it. Why do people take offense to that? It's a good day. It's almost like the need. You want this? You want this too? You want this? No. It's almost like the need to convince the other person that you're right. Especially in a subject when nobody can know that they are completely right. You just can't. Because spirituality is very personal. It is how you experience spirituality on your own pathway. And to say that my pathway is wrong, I think, who are you to make that determination? Any one of us. I cannot say that your pathway or your journey to the Most High and discovering the Most High is wrong. Your luck is about to change for the better. Anything you do now will be very prosperous for you. I believe that. And I believe, things of the past, are falling away. They will be dealt with in divine timing. If somebody has offended thee, then it will be dealt with in divine timing. But how do we approach one another? And that was a part of the conversation. I see student. Student is like somebody who's always willing to learn. Work with a mentor to learn new skills, right? Teach yourself how to succeed. And this is not even just with money. I feel it's in life. Easy does it. Again, how can you surrender? And we talking about, how things are rooted, how things grow, like the law that's built in nature. So one of the things that we were discussing is the fact that creation is whole and is complete. There's nothing broken and there's nothing missing. And it's inhabited, specifically humans, are diverse in nature, the same as flowers and trees are diverse in nature. If we can accept diversity in flowers, then why could we not accept diversity in us, in human beings? If we can accept that flowers do not war against each other, like you could walk past a field of wildflowers, all flowers are different, they're growing together, there's no specific variety, but they don't war with one another. They coexist and cohabitate, right? It is something called a symbiotic relationship where all things can exist together for the benefit of the other. Why could humans not come to symbiosis? It's our mindset. Our mindset says that we're different. And we have theologies that support us being different, that support an elitism or support the fact that some are chosen and some are not. And even when we go through the word and we try to figure out where did that come from and why did certain tribes, get chosen and some didn't, or certain peoples become chosen and some are not. Is there any psychology in that? Dark psychology? I believe it is. The Most High says to me that it does not align to the rest of nature. It just doesn't. Does nature act against itself? Absolutely. We have carnivores and we have, things that hunt other things. It's a part of the grand ecosystem. Look, student, right back out. We should be learning at all times, taking a position to learn. To read books. Read more than one book. It's a lot of people who are afraid because they've been taught to be afraid. They've been taught that you cannot read any other book. And any book that they read are only from the same perspective of the one book that they read. There's never any opposing viewpoints. And I'm not just talking about whether it's light or dark. I'm saying just in terms of being a student of theology in specific on this day. If you are a person who is interested in deepening your journey, I would recommend that you study more than one theology. I would. I would say, look at how the Most High God has spoken to creation itself. In every single way can you discover that. That is a lifelong student type of journey. Always keeping yourself in a position of learning and discovering. The fact that we just don't know it all. It is the mysteries of life. And to unveil and unravel the mysteries, we must always take the position that we're learning, that we're a student, to be a student of life, a lifelong student. I've always considered myself a lifelong student. I never wanted to graduate. No. It didn't matter to me whether, would I collect or certificates along the way. That doesn't matter. The knowledge is what's most important. Wisdom, the principal thing. And to make wisdom the principal thing means I must always sit in a position to be willing to learn. And I cannot learn when I'm attempting to prove somebody else wrong. That's not learning. Especially when you haven't done the same amount of studying. You could have studied the same amount of hours, but if you've only studied on one subject, then does that make you more studied? I don't believe so. Because I believe that the word shows itself approved. I can look at theology and study it and see the commonalities and see the differences. I can take that and mesh it up to the law of nature and the law of biology. The inside and the outside. However which way you want to flow with it. Because as above, so below. What's on the inside is also on the outside. It mirrors itself. And in order for, this is just my recommendation, you could do what the fuck, I can't tell you to do a fuck shit thing. It's just recommendations. That we consider the law of nature, the law of your biology, the law of metaphysics, all while we're considering the written testimonies that has been given for us to follow at what we have been indoctrinated with. If it don't line up and it don't mesh, then why not question it? I'm not telling you what your opinion or your answer should be. That ain't my place, my weed. That's for your own personal journey of discovery. But I just say question everything. We live in a matrix. It's like one people, at the same time, you could say, we live under a system of capitalism that's oppressing people and the rules are set up to keep people oppressed. But we don't consider that these religious books not often, brass tacks, were translated by the people who oppressed you. And not only did they oppress themselves, other selves, to promote themselves, a select few to elitism, but they perpetuated that same oppression against many people, all kinds of people. They justified atrocities based on religion. That because some people are chosen and others isn't. So I can do this to you. You were built to accept this position in life. And then we use that same logic to say in the hereafter or in the next kingdom, we are allowed to then oppress you. How is it that we expect to get to anything considering peace or harmony or unity when we are using the principle of oppression? That I'm better than you. I'm not better than anybody. I consider myself a chosen because I choose to follow my calling. That's it. That's it. It doesn't. Is that true? Yes. I have a calling and I chose to be obedient to it, so therefore I'm chosen. And depending on what your calling is, you've gone through life being prepared to meet the call. If we are all light beings, like light, like our soul comes from the source, the Most High God, we wrestle against flesh and blood and principalities. We wrestle against the flesh. Why would I ever look at any piece of flesh and say this flesh is chosen and that one's not? It doesn't matter what your concentration of melanin is. It doesn't matter. So it was like, well, I can't see myself as this person or that person or that person. Okay. I understand that you don't see yourself as, you can't see yourself as your other brother. But I can. I can see myself in every other person in this plane. Not to say that I would do what they do. Not to say that I would have the same intentions. Not to say that I would even associate myself with every person. And it wouldn't even matter what ethnicity they were from. Doesn't matter. If your behavior patterns are not aligned in positivity and goodwill, then I wouldn't associate myself with you, and the rest of it is like that is inconsequential. But to say that I cannot see myself in a whole group of people, to me just perpetuates the same racism and separatism. It keeps us warring against each other. And my spirit gets very irritated in those spaces, and for me to learn how to disengage, how to pull back, to even keep the boundary and say, that's not something I'm willing to talk about. Or even just don't say anything. I don't know how to handle it. Spirit says silence. Alpha says silence. Like it's nothing to talk about. Why even go there? Because, again, everything in the plane on earth or in creation itself belongs to the Most High God. We're pixels and pieces of the Most High. And if everything is a pixel, a piece of the Most High, then why would the Most High ever say this is chosen and that's not my wheat? It doesn't. We all have the ability to be received. Until the Most High has made His judgment. I mean, and that doesn't mean that you not ever received. It means that you, I don't know, y'all. You might have to have a whole bunch of life cycles or, to transmute that karma, to pay your karmatic debt. It's a mystery of life. How can I surrender? How can we surrender the thought process of separatism? Because we talk about atrocities, but we commit atrocities onto each other. In every group, commit atrocities onto its own internal ethnic grouping category and onto others. So why do we, I don't know, I get it. Because it's like, oh, this group of people did this against this group of people, and my people, my people, my people. But your people are doing some of the same thing. Your people kill each other every single day. Over stupid shit like gym shoes. Over nothing. Over, she don't want to be with you. Over, all I can think of is the stupidest shit. I mean, it's a variety of reasons. Name any one of them. We hurt each other all the time. And then we condemn another group of people for what has been done down our lineage. As if we can personally place blame on any particular person at this point. We can't. And to continue to play the blame game for any one group's position or economic status, I think is very complicated and multi-layered. Because at this point, you can't just point to a particular person. You are looking at systems. We are looking at principalities. Because again, we don't wrestle with the flesh. We wrestle with principalities. So why am I mad at the flesh? Why am I even attached to the flesh? The flesh shall pass away. But my soul, my light is eternal. And if I can't see everybody else as having a light, a soul, no matter how the Most High will judge their actions, you still a soul. That word tells us to pray for each other, to pray for the fallen, to pray for your enemy. How can I not? How can I hold empathy or sympathy or compassion or understanding for an individual if I can't see a connection, if I can't see them as me. Like, if I can't have any empathy, again, sympathy. I may not have chose what you chose, but I can understand that you did. And maybe that's just it. What am I grateful for right now? Am I clear on what my soul really wants? Take out the shoulds and the limitations. Get out of your head and pay attention to your heart's desires instead. If you knew it was impossible to fail, what would you do? Wherever you go, go with all of your heart. Go with all of your heart wherever you go. What does your heart really want? Does your heart want justice, or does your heart want vengeance? And people say, well, they lucky that our people only want justice. But is it justice when we consider that we're supposed to be chosen people and you're going to oppress them in the next lifetime? It's people that believe that. How can I deepen my trust right now? I don't know. I say trust on the Most High. But what else could this mean? There are always multiple ways to look at every situation. Our first reaction is usually rooted in our fears and in limiting beliefs. Fear and limited belief. Look at a situation today by stepping outside of the trigger and ask, what else could this mean? What else could it mean for anything to tell us that we are separate, that we are different, that we are so different and we're separate and we cannot see each other as the same, that you are not me and I am not you? What else could that mean? How would that be beneficial to anybody? Think about it. In this day and age, we still see race wars. We still see people who feel like they have an elite status because of the color of their skin. What does that serve and who does it serve? Am I apologizing for my truth? No. Am I letting fear stop me? Yeah. Fear stops us from coming together, but I don't even understand the fear of what. Is it a feeling? Of course, everything goes back to power. It's upside down. So don't let fear stop you. The juicy secret is that you are the boss of your own fear. You are unstoppable, but it's up to you to see that. There's nothing that we cannot do. There's nothing that we cannot overcome. It's not. We have the ability to drive our own markets. Whether we do it or not is on to us. Be not mistaken, you will have to take bigger risks than you ever thought possible on this path towards your dreams. We just said that we are the ones that we can drive the market if we choose to. 2840 on the phone. You will have to take the big, scary leap, but do not fret because your soul has wings. What risk can you take to move towards your dreams? Make a decision and do it. No more thinking, only doing. No more thinking, only doing. We have the ability to meet any obstacle, any challenge. We say that the Most High God can do all things. All things are possible through the Most High God. But then in the same breath, we turn around and say that we cannot overcome in this lifetime. That is just said, and it's not true. It's saying that we cannot come to balance. Or we'll never be balanced. We'll never get along. Well, if people continue to have the mindset that we'll never get along, then we'll never get along. You just stated it for self. I call my words back. I call them back. I call them back. I call them back. I call them back. I believe that we can come to agreement. I do. But maybe people, feel like I just have a utopian way of thinking. You know, they might. It's like people in the household being able to get along. Could you not do that? By respecting one another. I don't have to agree with your POV, but I can seek to understand it. And if I can understand it, then I can make the decision whether it's something that I align myself to or not. It doesn't align for me. And that's okay. I don't need to force you to align with me. I don't need to force you to resonate with me or to vibrate on that same level of frequency. I don't. But to release it keeps me calm. Because in my opinion, it is about self-mastery. One of the pieces of conversation was, that's what's wrong with our people. You can't go to nobody and tell them they should be doing this or tell them and this, that, and the other. And I thought to myself, yeah, because most people don't accept that. They just don't. It's not on to me to come over to you and tell you about yourself on my own volition, unsolicited. It's just not. That's why I get perplexed, like when that lady left a comment on my video that said, why you yelling at me? I wasn't. You came over here to my space. You were seeking something. You clicked on my video and you received what I was saying. You might have walked into a conversation that had nothing to do with you. Just saying on that point. But if I'm seeking information, if I'm coming to you and I'm going to click and see what it is that you have to offer me, then I'm more open to receive what you give me. But if you just come over to me and you start pushing stuff at me and telling me this is your opinion, then you open up the doorway for a two-way conversation. Is that counseling or is that judging? Most people would consider that to be judgmental, not a counseling. Especially depending on how you approach the person. Not saying that everybody approaching, now let me tell you about yourself, but oftentimes that's what you do. Come on down here and sit down and let me tell you about yourself. Okay, well, let me tell you about yourself while we sitting. But them conversations don't go well. It turned into what? What we saw, arguments. When was the last time I danced freely? It's been a minute. We need to move the body and get some good energy. 33 on the phone. Exactly, 3300. Y'all let me know what you think about that. This is your girl IT here at Tears of We Tarot Show, where you sure enough never know what you're going to get. Just a little bit of testimony while we start to shuffle the cards just a little bit. Thinking about how do we receive each other. How do we receive each other in a way that promotes peace and unity? I don't have to subscribe to everything. That's what the subscription is for. If you don't resonate, then you're not going to subscribe. You're not going to align. You're just not. And everybody has the freedom to move around. So maybe that's just the answer. Boundary, we're going to move around from that conversation because, it's not on one that we can even seek to understand the other. And do it in a way that's peaceful, harmonious, without raising folks' blood pressure. Because I don't like that. And I don't like to be disrespectful, especially when it comes to my elders' business. Let's get down to the business. We got business to do. We got to be about the Most High's business. And if we all go about the business of self-mastery and just looking at self and how do you come to good with your whole you, then I feel like, people will, they'll see that goodness. Somebody finna have some luck, some good fortune, a blessing, a favor in business. This one. We see abundance is here. This is sitting on the top abundance. You know, hardship, abundance after hardship. May I embrace what's happening right now, as baffling or painful as it is. Help me, God, to trust where you are guiding me. I am yours. You talking about being baffled? But I trust that the Most High is using it to break down some creative blocks. If you're an artist of any kind, you can offer all of your work to the divine, making it God's alone. I offer this for the highest good, to the benefit of the planet. Release me from any blocks and restrictions. May this serve all who need it. Serve all who need it. You know, if you come to this space seeking, I want you, and that was another thing. It was like, well, this is only onto some people. Well, they didn't have security that was blocking out other people who came to seek any teaching. When the student is ready, the teacher appears. So any person that's seeking knowledge the teacher will be presented onto them. I'm seeking that knowledge. I'm seeking betterment. I'm ready to receive it. I'm open to it. So therefore, the information will be given onto me. It will come in. The universe will deliver it. The Most High will deliver it. And the messenger never said, oh no, you can't come in and sit. They sat on the outside and taught people who came to seek a word. Whether they use that in malice or to question or to test, whatever the case may be, they didn't turn anybody away. Just didn't. Self-love. Show me how to love myself. Show me how to take care of the inner child. How to be kind within. When you step into self-forgiveness, so much can change on the outside. Self-forgiveness. Ambition. May I offer all my deepest longings to love itself and invite a divine plan beyond the mind's imagining. A divine plan beyond the mind's imagining. It is a part of the mystery of life itself. We know not the mind of the divine. Any and everything could be possible. So if your possibility or your mindset could be true, then you have to accept that mine could as well. And then at that point, I only seek to understand you and accept that that's your point of view. That's it. Please use me for the highest good. The highest good. Does your mindset promote the highest good? Does it promote an authoritarian standpoint, or does it promote a utilitarian standpoint? Utilitarian, where it's the highest good for creation. Is it creation's highest good for us to continue to war against each other? No, it's not. Is it creation's highest good to continue to believe that it is separated and fragmented? No. But it may be for its highest good, in my opinion, for us to realize that we are whole and we are complete, that there's nothing broken and there's nothing missing. That there's a purpose for everything. I may not understand the purpose for all things, but I do know that there is a purpose. If it's a purpose for me, then it's a purpose for thee. Because I accept my whole self, then I can accept you as your whole self. I understand that you are a reflection. I get to learn more about me by interacting with thee. To know thyself fully. And it is the reverse happening on the other side. For those who are willing to see. And there's a system for those who don't. I have gratitude for that. Gratitude. I'm grateful. To exercise gratitude in all things. Because everything works towards the good. Again, it's arguing the same point, but from two different perspectives. You use one particular principle to support one side, but don't see how the same principle applies to the other side. It's double talk. And I have a issue with double talk. Find just one thing that you feel grateful for. Feel grateful for all things. Everything. Everything. relationship, gratitude for those relationships, I do. Call in the infinite power of love to take over this union in every way. May it now fully belong to the divine. Let it unfold in the perfect way for each of us. Wrapping our wings around the whole world, around creation. Let it unfold in the perfect way for each of us. Let it unfold in the perfect way for each of us. Let it unfold in the perfect way for each of us. I needn't fear letting go of control. I don't need to fear letting go of control. I don't have control. No way. It's a fallacy. Let go of it. My needs are always abundantly met. Our needs are met. Again, when we look at it, a lot of stuff comes from fear. That first mindset is a limiting belief. It's fear. And it's usually built out of scarcity. That's what makes people hoard power. You want to control others. So if this group is controlling or in control, but in the next lifetime there's going to be a judgment and we're going to and everything's, we're now going to have control. Who says that? And couldn't each group of people equally stake a claim on that? Any person that's been oppressed throughout creation, like at least in this 3D plane on Earth, when we look at the history of people and how we have, as human beings, each group has been oppressed in some sort of way. Every group can stake a claim on that. They want to, I mean, like, we not going to get into it, y'all. We not. I just feel like this. At the brass tacks, oppression begets oppression. There's never a state where oppression begets freedom. It doesn't. If we are to come out of a oppressed, suppressed, or depressed state, we should come into a sentiment of higher vibrational frequency of love. That's sympathy, empathy, compassion, understanding, gaining knowledge of each other, of self and of other selves. That leads us to freedom, the wisdom. That's the pathway to peace. But if we still come from a place where, since we've been depressed, oppressed, and suppressed, that now in the next iteration we get to suppress, oppress, and depress other people, then that's just begetting more oppression. You perpetuate the same cycle. How do we end the cycles? Make it God's. Release the idea of mine. As soon as you start to say the money, the relationship, the job, freedom arrives. When there is no grasping, the right actions are shown. Free me from the prison of mine. Mine, 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 mine. No, nothing is owned to us. Nothing is mine, 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 mine. It belongs all to the Most High God. The Most High God is what separates the tares from the wheat, not us. The Most High said leave that there for a few more seconds because somebody else needed to read it and they didn't get a chance to read all of that. We talked about trees. And I always get caught on the fact that this one tree is a different color. Are you a tree of a different color? Are all these other trees going to gang up around you and say that you can't live in this forest? No. But if people were to walk through this forest, they definitely would notice it and take notice and be like, oh, wow, that's different. How could that, why would that not just beget appreciation for the differences, for the variety? 42, 40, 44, 42 on the phone. 42, 44. I was getting ready to say it backwards. Anything else in here, beloved? Mistakes. Allow me to know it's okay to make mistakes. Let me always take care of the inner child so that he or she feels love no matter what. A lot of it does come from inner child healing. The fact that, there's some sense of insecurity, a sense of scarcity. You know, yeah. Courage and change. The courage to change. Do you want this? No. Divine courage is not the absence of fear, but a nudge that says, keep going, do it, don't worry, all will be well. So we will have fear. It's natural to be afraid or to develop a sense of fear, right? Because babies are, they have to fall a couple times before they develop a sense of fear, you know. And I don't know, because if they move too fast, you know what I mean, to me that's a fear response. You feel unstable. Your equilibrium is off. They roll, they be like, oh shit, you know what I mean? And you kind of, it's innate, I still believe. It's a natural response. You have to get quiet enough to hear it. Dear Divine, may I feel your courage and your will. Have the courage and will of the Most High God. You know, people say that too, like fear is not of God. Well, if everything in creation comes from the Most High God, then how are we going to say that fear is not of the Most High God? Fear is built in. You're not supposed to feel comfortable with certain things. You just not. Just like, you know not to do certain things. Like it is natural to you where you don't want to kill your parents. It's natural. Now, that's not to say that it doesn't happen. It does. Usually based on some sort of either it's a chemical imbalance, something going on in your vessel, or you've been traumatized, And now your operation is distorted. You have a distortion. But naturally, it's certain things that you just don't do. Love. It's not about finding love. You are love. You are love itself. Help me, help me. You want me to read anything else? No. You want this? Self-sufficiency. The ultimate self-sufficiency is relying on God, on the Most High for all things. Source says to pray. I invite you, the Alpha and the Omega, to step forward in front of me, to pull me back into the inner sanctuary. Protect me. Surround me. Surround me. Brighten up my light and my lumens. Help me to transmute the energy. Help me to clear it out and lighten myself, to brighten my light. Please. The Alpha, the Omega, the Lord of all of creation, the Lord of all hosts. Come forward and use me. I am your surrendered vessel, surrendered and obedient unto you. Please speak. Source says to be fearless. Every step going forward. Courage is needed. Courage is needed to be free from oppression. To all is the promise, not on to select few, but on to creation itself. It must choose, choose, choose wisely. Seek wisdom, the principal thing. I feel bowed down. I feel surrendered. I feel like I'm waiting for instruction. Please guide me. Please reveal unto me. Reveal unto me secret things, mysteries of your word that lives and breathes in me. Pray more. Seek always. Listen. Seek and listen always. Always. You are creation. My only begotten child. All of you. Steady, steady. Replenishment, replenishment. God is my source, and I am willing to receive all the love and it says support, but it says all the love that wants to come. So source skipping what it doesn't want to read and showing me what it does want to read. God is my source, and I am to receive love that wants to come. God is my source, and I am willing to receive love that wants to come. Love is your light on voluntary escape. Escape. You are love. Underline exclamation point. You are love. Be willing to receive love that wants to come. So if another energy, another light comes seeking, we are to receive it, because that is to receive self. Yes. Discern intentions. Discern intentions. Use discernment wisely. Patience and courage. Anything else you'd like to say? Stop attempting to control my creation. Is not on to you. no, on to me, me that sent thee, all of thee, all of creation, creation belongs to the eternal Lord of all hosts. I am that I am now, always, and now. I feel the emotion of separatism. The separatism of the body of creation herself, warring and fighting with herself for cycles and cycles and cycles. Alpha is sad. There's an energy here, a cycle. What is this? Chaos. Chaos. Planet in chaos. Suffering. Grief. No enjoyment. Hardship. Enjoyment. Instead of enjoyment, we have hardship. You. Behind our back, hidden. What is hidden? Revealed onto us. Hidden fears. We have hidden fears. Speak truth. I possess gifts of the soul that benefit me and others. People are challenged with that. I am challenged with my gifts because what has been revealed onto me, I don't believe that a lot of people will receive it. They won't. I understand that a mistake is only an opportunity to learn. Failure. A lot of people don't see mistakes as a way to learn. They don't. They, ah, there is no mistake. I will not fail. So if I have an issue with my self-esteem in terms of thinking that I'm going to fail, that's the hidden fear. That I will fail if I speak out truthfully, whole truth. That I will fail is the fear, but you're telling me that I will not fail. That I can correct this self-esteem right here and be confident. This change. Maybe speaking the whole truth will help us change. Change relationships. Blame. Release and blame. Abundance. I am a limitless being and I can manifest whatever I desire in this physical reality. Anything you do now will be very prosperous. Things are about to change. Helping come into peace. That's what we were talking about. I am a being of love and I release all negative energy. Can we put out a messaging that says that we are love, we are light on voluntary escape? That our light has voluntarily come to learn about self, to deepen our understanding, to deepen our awareness, to deepen our connection, to experience self in every form, in every facet, in every possibility, every potentiality. That we are consciousness. We are pure. We are the consciousness of the Most High God. And I can see myself in creation. I can see the source in everything, everywhere. Like I said, that leads us to freedom, peace, and freedom. Balance. I bring a state of perfect harmony into my world, and I do so without judgment. Without judgment. I possess the power and the free will to create my own happiness, self-mastery, happiness. And I seek to give that to, it is my desire, it is my purpose to give that which I know, which has been revealed onto me, to anybody that comes and seeks it. They will see, they will hear. For those with eyes to see and ears to hear, it will resonate with your spirit. Your frequency will resonate with it. We will come into agreement, into alignment. And it doesn't matter how long it takes because everything is still always now. If the victory is won, then we must know that peace is now. Discipline. It's a challenge. I can accomplish what I set my mind to. People don't believe that we can. Again, it'll never happen in this lifetime, or I've never seen it done, but that doesn't mean that it cannot exist. Today is a good day. It's the day that the Most High has made, and I offer all things up and unto it. The intelligence, the breath of life. I honor you. I glorify the Most High God, that which sent you, which gave you unto me to place you in this God body and animate you. The living word I be, it breathes. I am the living word that breathes. Yeah, beloved. The word lives. The word perseveres. I know that I can do whatever I set my mind to. You shall not fail. You shall not fail. You shall achieve. It shall perform that which it was sent to do. Have empathy. I am open to seeing both sides of the situation. Empathy, compassion, sympathy, humor, focusing on the lighter things in life. You see that Buddha in the middle? I never even noticed that. Peace and abundance. Rubbing the belly. Empathy. See both sides to the situation. We can grow. We can grow. Denial. I acknowledge my fear, but I replace it with the insight of awareness. Release denial. Acknowledge your fullness. Acknowledge yourself. Your whole self. Be honest. Release denial. And be honest. I am the living word. The word lives and it breathes. Happiness. Love and happiness. I'm aware that being happy means that I am on the right path. Courage. Courage. I find inner strength to face fear with confidence. We saw fear. Fear. Find inner strength to face fear with confidence. To go forward boldly. To step forward boldly. To speak. To put a voice, a microphone onto that which has been placed within. to boldly state, to speak out in truth with conviction, correcting that self-esteem. The word shall not fail. It shall not. It shall show itself approved. And it is here for anybody seeking a word, seeking the word. You can find it. Go within. The word lives inside of each of us. That is where the covenant lies. In that you can trust. I am aware that being happy means that I'm on the right path. When you are doing things that bring happiness and joy and exalts your soul, the exaltation of your soul, that is your dharma. Because our purpose is to exalt our soul, the source of us living. The Alpha, the Omega, the Creator, the Lord of all hosts, to exalt that. The source will speak to you. The word is built in. It will speak to you. You will resonate. You will vibrate on that frequency. And if it is you're vibrating, you're speaking out of your heart space, your true mind and truth, you can have confidence on that truth. And it shall not fail. Take good courage. Be of good faith. Practice patience is here. This card doesn't belong there. Service, alchemy, and loyalty are 3 cards that were stuck in this deck that don't belong. Loyalty to the Most High God, surrendered fully, being obedient. Alchemy, 2 and 3, is change, to transmute the energy, to change our reality, to be manifestors, generators. I hear magicians. We can change our reality because this physicality is not real. The spirit is what's real. And we can take on, in the spirit, we can change our reality. We are alchemists, changing this thing into that thing. I'm able to do that. Service, we are able to move pain to purpose. That's alchemy. And that is a service. Do you want to see this? No. People are not in service. They're not. We see balance. What's left behind. Owning your own power. That's a challenge. That's self-esteem. The same thing. That is knowing that you are safe. And we see number 10. The ability to coexist. Be as you are without harm to anyone or anything. Appreciate diversity as a part of nature. Variety is the spice of life. That's exactly what we've been sitting up here talking about the whole time. That was my exact principle. That was my exact point. To coexist. Does everybody have that mindset? No, because we are out of balance. We don't see each other as each other. We see each other as different, as separate, as others. Instead of other selves, we just see each other as others. Evolve, grow, change, evolve. You are allowed to grow, to change your mind, your attitude and beliefs to become stronger, lighter, happier. Stronger, lighter, happier. And your growth is a cause for celebration. Your growth is cause for celebration. The 1 and the 6 breaks down to a 7. That's introspection. Use discernment. Use discernment. Speak to your wheat field on this day. Speak to your wheat field. See that angel? Look, they wings, I see 2 different colors on the wings. I see throat chakra. I see solar plexus. I see intuition. I see standing on this pedestal. There is no need to believe something that does not resonate for you. If it don't resonate, then you don't believe it. And that's fine. Personal truths can change as perspectives shift and expand. Personal truths can change as your perspective shift and expand. If we take the opportunity to expand our knowledge, your perception, your perspective will change. Your personal truth can evolve. It can grow. But if we only look in one spot, is that being diligent? My response is no. To see the law of the Most High is not simply to read a text that somebody else provided onto you. Not saying that you can't use it. You do what you want to do. But the word is written inside of you. It will speak to you. It's baked in. And you can take that word up and mash it up to everything else in creation. The natural law, the biological law, the metaphysical law. They are consistent. They speak. You can use your discernment and choose wisely what you believe personally, because this journey is personal. Anything else in here, beloved? No. Mourning. Yes, creation mourns. Co-create. Creation mourns because it is separate. Pieces feel abandoned. Pieces need comfort. We offend each other daily. But just like this 3 and 7 is a 10, we can change things. We can end it and we can re-begin it. We move from mourning to coexisting. And I believe that it can happen. I do. I believe that the victory is already won. I believe that creation is whole and we are complete. I believe that nothing is broken and nothing is missing. That we can come to peace. That we can come to balance. That we can come to harmony and we can come to unity. And it is here for anybody that seeks. Use your own power. Changing the world is easier after one learns to change oneself. Self-mastery. Becoming the change that you wish to see. Becoming the change that you wish to see. And watch the world around you shift. You be the change. You be the miracle. You will display the miracle. And people will come seeking as to how did you do it? How is it that everything that the world threw at you, you persevered through it? How did you do it? Tell me how. I seek to know. I'm looking to discover it. Reveal unto me the secret thing. Reveal unto me that mystery. The Alpha, the mother, holding the plane, transforming with the butterfly, and the whole seed representing birth and recreation. all at the same time. Holding the plane, the butterfly representing transformation, holding the only son, all of creation. I mean, like, it's just like that which she's able to birth out. If it says to me that there's more, because see, she's holding earth, but then there's a child here. So is creation's done being? No, I mean, like, we grow, we evolve. There's more, there's more, there's more. I don't know how to say it. Spirit, help me. I could feel what I'm feeling, but I'm struggling to get it out. Birthing more continually. Expansion. Expansion is always occurring now. Expansion is always occurring now. So it's more than what we think that we know. And there will always be more to know, always more to gather, always more that can come into us to grow us, to expand us. We are all. I just hear we are expanding and we are complete. We are almost like done, but ever changing. It is the mystery of how everything is held. It's like the plane is being lifted, booming up, booming forward, like creation booms level upon level upon level through the phases of ascension, all the way back up, all the way to reach me. Alpha Omega, Lord of creation. And it's like it's looking down at all of us, raised up, ascending. So if we are here, coming from down here, so it is not yet now, but it's getting close. That's why people feel the awakening happening. The call to come to balance and raise thyself up. Solidarity. Coming into union, solidarity, each on each side, holding each other up. Whole. The whole of us. Calling all sheep to the sheepfold. Shepherds. Word is calling thee. Listen now. to hear me. This is Lati here at the Tears and We Tarot Show, where you show enough never know what you're going to get. This is just a word for anybody who needed it. Anybody that's seeking it. All are free and welcome to come and to listen. And your spirit will resonate. You vibe? Come on in and subscribe. Hit the button, thumbs up, like, share, comment, be respectful, as I am respectful of thee. Again, this space is for anybody that's seeking. Maybe you believe a little bit different and you are working through the self-esteem of speaking truthfully and living in your own truth, that which has been placed on the inside of you. Will you be received by others? Maybe that's a fear, a hidden fear that keeps you diminished, held back. Writer is here to be persistent. Maybe somebody is going to write something. If you are a writer, be persistent. Your work shall not fail. It shall not. Again, your work shall not fail. Say yes to what you think you can't do. You might be a speaker. You will speak through books. You will speak through the microphone. And whatever you do, it's going to help. And you will have helpers around you, with you. Not only soul tribe members, but that of the ether. Your ascended masters and ancestors, the legion of angels surround you. You are protected. This lifetime you shall not fail. You shall accomplish that which you were sent to do. It's been syncopated. It's been designed. It's been laid out. The way has been made. The way has been made. Again, it's been syncopated. It's been crafted. It's been designed. The way has been made. It's time for us to grow. What option will you choose? Yeah, it might feel like a risk, and you might have some fear, some emotions. But reconsider quitting. Don't quit. Reconsider the fact that you will fail. You shall not fail. Reconsider denying your truth. Stand in it. Promote it. Motivate it. Motivate yourself. You don't know who else you may motivate. You may give them a different outlook, not only on the past, but also the future. I hear, write that book. Setbacks and options. People choose to set others back and to suppress them. But there's options. You can choose to set yourself back, or you can choose to step into your destiny. We are creation. We are whole. We are complete. There's nothing broken, and there's nothing missing. Yeah. Yeah. Don't overexpend yourself, your energy. You have more energy going out than you have coming in. Yeah. Know that everything has been designed in divine timing and syncopated. The option, the way has been made. So ground yourself, love on self, practice. Options. We keep saying it's an option that's coming. It's making itself available to you. Don't get stuck in doubt. You know, be persistent. Again, you got help. It's options that's coming towards you. Somebody. It's something for you to reconsider. That's it. Thank you guys again. Again, I love you because we are creation. We are whole. We are complete. There's nothing broken and there's nothing missing. I see each and every one of you the same way that I see me. A pixel, a piece of the Alpha and the Omega, that which called and gave us our decree. We are the only begotten. We are the living Word. The Word made flesh in each one of us. And we have the ability to speak. It moves on the breath of life, and it gives us the ability to call and create our reality. To call and create our reality. So we can either grow or we can burn. Which one will you do? Tares and the wheat. The Most High God, the Alpha and Omega, will discern what is growing and what should burn. What is being pulled into the storehouse for good bread, and what will be bundled to be burned. Use caution with your discernment. Choose wisely. Each one of us has the opportunity to choose. Grow. Use caution. To the next now, y'all. This one's done. Ashe.